and with us on the broadcast this minute is Dr. Mirza Wadanfar, lecturer of Iranian politics. Thanks very much for being here. I have to begin by asking you for your assessment of the messaging that's coming in from Iran, of course, at a time when the war continues to show no signs of ending.
Correct. The Islamic Republic of Iran is increasing its attacks on the energy infrastructures of its Middle Eastern neighbors, especially in the Persian Gulf. It was the Iranians who first started attacking the energy, the oil fields of different countries, especially Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, then the United Arab Emirates and Qatar. Then the situation escalated after Israel attacked the Iranian side of the South Pars of the Pars oil field, which Iran shares with Qatar. This was a warning to the Islamic Republic of Iran, I believe, on behalf of especially the United States and perhaps some of the Persian Gulf countries that they are willing to escalate the situation if Iran continues attacking the energy infrastructure of these countries. I have to remind you viewers that none of these countries took part in any attacks against Iran's energy infrastructure. It was the Iranians who did that. So I think this was a message, but it seems that the Iranians are willing to take further risks by escalating the situation. They believe that the Persian Gulf countries and the United States have more to lose. The Iranian side believes that by attacking these oil fields and by raising the costs on the Persian Gulf states, especially on their energy sector, they will bring the costs of the war to an unbearable level for these oil and gas producing countries, and most importantly for the United States of America. So this seems to be part of the strategy. Of course, the other parts of the strategy are using missiles and drones to attack Israel and the Persian Gulf states, and most importantly for them, closing of the Strait of Hormuz.
All right. Speaking of the impact that the war, of course, has had on the region, what do you think is the strategy when it comes to the impact on the oil markets? Because what do you also make of the agenda that Donald Trump really has at this point? Because the messaging over there has also been quite conflicting.
The Iranians realize that President Trump will be going to his midterm elections this November in the Senate and the Congress. Therefore, a costly war could cost him at the ballot box, could reduce his popularity, which is already not very high. I think his popularity is quite low, in fact. The Iranians want to use this pressure in order to warn him, to say that the longer this war continues, the more likely you are to lose in these midterm elections, because the American voter will not look favorably upon the high price of gas, upon the damage that this war is bringing upon the world, especially the major stock exchanges of the world. And of course, there's this other issue of trying to make America look impotent. This is very important for the Iranians, but this is why they closed the Strait of Hormuz. This is one of the major reasons. They believe that the Americans, it will be extremely difficult for the Americans to open up the Strait of Hormuz again because of the operational requirements, because of the number of ships that's required, or perhaps you need to launch a land attack, which the Iranians are not sure that the Americans will do. Therefore, they're also using that in order to ratchet up the price of costs. Iran cannot beat the United States on the battlefield. The Islamic Republic realizes that. But they believe their best chance of stopping this war and deterring America and Israel from future attacks is to making the costs of this war unbearable, which is why they're continuing with the actions that we see. As I mentioned, continuation of the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, and attacks against energy fields and attacks against these different countries by drones and missiles.
All right, we're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for being here and sharing those
Thank you.
perspectives with us.
Thank you.